What it do? Welcome into the Common Fan. I'm Austin Dunston here with Braxton Teal and Luke Bigler. I can't help but laugh. You're just smiling and looking at me, man.
Every time you introduce Luke, you always skip over him, but you don't have the opportunity
I didn't have. Here's Pac-Man and then Luke Bigler. No, but we are back. The boys are back in the bullpen.
Let's go.
Shout out to Dude and B Ray for filling in for us last week. It was a great show. Go listen to it. Go rate it 5 stars. How are you guys doing though?
It's good, man. It's good to be back.
It is good to be back. Luke, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
I'm kind of waiting on the call to be added to the staff.
Dude, you're pretty much
you're on the staff.
I feel like I'm just on call, always ready.
You're a contract worker for us.
He's like our best arm out of the bullpen.
Absolutely.
Like, he's there when we need
We need to
him.
put pen to paper.
Yeah,
Okay.
we do. Okay,
And
we'll get that
some
worked
more
out.
patrons so I can.
That's true.
That's true. But anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead and jump right into things. So this past weekend, college football was played, which is gigantic. Let's give them a round of applause. Excellent job. Excellent job being able to play football. But did you guys watch it? It was Austin Peay versus Central Arkansas.
I did. I watched the majority of the second half of the game.
See, and I watched the whole first half, but not the
Okay, so
second
we
half.
got
So
this.
we're good. How about you, Luke? Did you see it?
Tom, it didn't work out good for me. The Cubs were playing, so that kind of took precedent. But I did catch some highlights.
Right. Well, one, I watched it because it's football and it's my favorite sport and I love it. But two, I watched it because I was interested to see like how it was going to look. And it was so different this year. So as you guys know, there's so many things put into place. Excuse me. Like they all have to wear masks, but I didn't see the players. I don't know
Players
if they had
don't
to.
know.
Yeah, some colleges are going with the little face plastic
I
covering.
think they're
Really?
Gators.
Yeah, some of them are
Gators are
using
like the-
Gators.
yeah.
And some of them have like, I saw LSU come out. It looked like a Ziploc bag over the face mask. Did y'all see that?
I would have to
I would
do
hate
the,
it.
the Gator.
Absolutely.
I would have to do that one.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. But and then I saw where the referees were using electronic whistles.
Yeah, I didn't know that
Yeah.
until you told me that.
Yeah, so I don't know how they work, but apparently they can't like take their mask off unless they're making a call. So they have to get socially distanced away from people, take off their mask, and then 5-yard penalty, automatic, whatever. And then
Did that take like longer? Like did you notice any kind of
not
prolonging of the game because of that?
honestly not really
No?
because they would try to socially distance and then like the players would just walk right by them because they were
Right.
moving for the penalty. So it really
Right.
didn't end up mattering.
I got you.
But the electronic whistles, they were having like mishaps with them.
Yeah,
And
I was about to say, you told me they were like setting them off. Or how does an electronic whistle work?
See,
first
Like a
off?
buzzer, like the Astros.
I guess it was like a buzzer or something. I'm not 100% sure, but they were accidentally setting them off sometimes. So they like blow a play dead and it's like, oh, we didn't mean to do
No,
that.
my
Didn't mean
bad.
to do that.
But anyway, so Austin Peay, I think they opened the season as 5-point underdogs,
Yeah.
which I was going to hammer in honor of Trivia Matt, who, by the way, called me right after that first 75-yard touchdown.
Did he really?
He was like, 75 yards to the house. I told you, dude. I told you. Because I was going to take him +4, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Shout out to that because the final score was what?
23-17, I think.
Some-
Yeah, they lost by
something like that.
7.
Something like, anyway, but that got me excited. So I kind of want to talk about odds for the upcoming football season.
I like
Okay.
it.
So I want you guys to guess. Who do you think is the favorite to win the national championship in college football?
The favorite this year is
I mean, you want the easy answer?
Yeah, give me the easy answer.
Alabama. Yeah.
Incorrect.
Ohio State's up there, I think. Right?
Clemson.
Clemson's number 1.
I was going to
Clemson's
say,
number
it was
one.
either Bama or Clemson for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, but Ohio State, they're not playing, so because they're in the Big Ten.
True. Which doesn't make sense to me. Like, why rank them if they're not going to play?
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like they still have odds on here.
But
Yeah.
wasn't Austin Peay's conference, like, they're not playing either,
Yeah, they're
technically,
the-
right?
they're
So couldn't Ohio State technically play?
Well, they're Ohio Valley Conference. Shout out Tech, wings up. But they canceled like in conference play. So what they did is Austin Peay, I believe, is they went out and scheduled a bunch of other non-conference games that were playing.
Oh, okay.
So like I guess in theory, I think there is a Big Ten trying to do that. Maybe Nebraska. Maybe.
Because
Nebraska was throwing a
Coach
fit,
Frost
yeah.
came out and he was like, "We're playing."
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams are trying to do that.
I feel like you
Right.
can do that if you're a lower tier school, but if you're, this massive SEC program or something like that, it's a little harder to jump on somebody's schedule.
Who's going to want to play you?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know?
Like UCA doesn't want to play Nebraska.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Austin Peay doesn't want to play Nebraska, and that's also unfair because if you're ranking the teams and you see
Yeah.
a team that's playing a bunch of, group of 5 schools, like,
And that's
and
another
they're
thing.
12-0, like, that doesn't mean anything.
Before we jump too deep into odds, so
Yeah.
you were talking about the game last night, which obviously was farther away than when we're filming this. But
the
game last night, Austin Peay's game, there were a couple things that like I feel like a small school can slide by in. So one thing, obviously, the coaching staff, the trainers, everybody like that are wearing masks.
Yeah.
But by the time like third quarter rolled around, everybody had their mask pulled down.
Yeah, I believe. I mean, I've also actually read a study about the Gators that like they are not even like it's better to not wear a mask than to wear a gaiter.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know why, but that's just what they say.
I just see like SEC because we love to hate on these little schools. Like fining somebody or suspending a coach or something stupid happening based off somebody wasn't wearing their mask all game or properly or anything like that. Another thing we talked about earlier was the long snapper was gone from Austin Peay.
Yeah.
And so was their best player, their number one wide receiver was gone.
Yeah.
And I believe was because of COVID-related things.
Yeah. Well, and you saw that really affected at least Austin Peay because there were, that I can think of, 2 oversnapped balls on punts.
Yeah, they had 2 oversnaps, and then the entire second half, they just did pooch punts with the quarterback.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, he was deadly.
Really?
He put it inside the 10 like every time.
I stopped watching. I should have kept watching.
Nah, he was good, man.
Yeah, you said it was a pretty good ending, right?
It was.
Don't you know that punter was just like, dude.
Yeah, right?
Come on, bro.
Just give me the ball.
I had one job.
Yeah, no, but I was so happy that football was back. I'll be interested to see, like, if there's any COVID spikes or what they say about it after the game. Because that's one thing about this. You don't know until you actually are out there doing it.
Sure.
And so I think this will be a really good gauge as to if it's going to work.
I pray to God that they have no positive tests just to give us that little check that says, hey, we can do this.
You know, honestly, I wouldn't be devastated if they had some, so it can also prove that even if there is a little bit of an outbreak, they can continue to
just
play.
like the MLB did with the Marlins.
Exactly. Right.
The show goes on.
It's all about controlling the situation.
Right.
So I feel like whatever comes out of this week, it could be positive if they handle it the right way.
Sure.
So, but anyway, back into odds.
Sure.
Because we all know I love to bet. I think, Luke, you love to bet too.
I'm a degenerate.
So, so I think the odds for Bama to win the national championship is at plus 350, or plus 300. No, plus 350, and then Clemson is plus 250. And those are the rest of them are like way down there. Yeah, absolutely. But one thing that I think is wild. So, yes, obviously, Alabama is the favorite to win the SEC, but I don't know if they should be.
Me either.
Yeah.
Because everybody's riding on Mac Jones. What did he do last year? He beat Arkansas. So did Western Kentucky. And then he lost to Auburn. And the only thing I remember from that Auburn game is him throwing that pick 6 at the goal line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So what makes Alabama above everybody else?
Nick Saban.
You think? Is that really
it's just like a well-oiled machine, man. Just like,
it is, man.
Just like how the Patriots will always be a favorite.
Right.
Like,
I'm interested to see, though, this is the first year I can remember in at least 5 years that Alabama doesn't have that true, just absolute stud that you're looking forward to playing or looking forward to see play.
Yeah.
So I would be interested to see.
Sometimes that doesn't come out until after that second week, though. They'll have a running back that you've never heard of all of a sudden runs for 300 yards.
Yeah, but the wild part about this, though, is that it's not like so Clemson's the favorite to win the national championship, and it's plus 250. Like, Alabama's the favorite to win the SEC, and it's minus 222.
Wow.
Like, they are heavy favorites, which I don't know if it's warranted.
So one day we're going to do a nice 15-minute segment that teaches me the ins and outs of sports betting.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I probably shouldn't tell my wife, I want to get into it, but I would love to get into it. I just feel like I don't know enough about, the odds and what certain things mean to really throw money at it.
There's no better feeling than hitting a big bet. And there is no worse feeling than whenever you lose on some BS.
Oh, bad beats. All-time bad beats.
Oh, my gosh.
No, I'll never forget the first time I won a bet. I placed $10. It was $10 on Tyson Fury to win. And he won, and I had $14 in the account. And I literally told I was like, I feel like the richest human being.
I am the smartest man alive.
and then I went on like an 8-game cold streak of just losing, man.
You're like, I can't lose again.
Well,
I can't lose again.
It's the same thing with the stock market, man. You get that first, big ticket, and you sell it off for like a 20-plus gain, and you're like, oh, my God.
That's why I got into the stock market.
I know.
Was because I was like, well, there's no more sports, so let's start trading options. Let's figure out what this is
That's
about.
what a lot of people do. did. Yeah, actually. But I kind of held out. I mean, I didn't have any money. I don't have money to be sports betting.
I still don't.
But luckily, I have on the account I use. I have $100 bubble, so I don't have to pay out until I'm down $100. And I haven't gotten there yet, you know. But what I usually do is if I get down a lot, I start taking parlays. So, like, it's a lot higher odds. So I'll take, like, a 3-team parlay.
Oh, yeah.
And then it'll hit, and it'll be like a...
Or 2 teams will hit.
Do you want to explain what a parlay is
Exactly. Okay, so a parlay is... Actually, I feel like I've been talking. Why don't you go ahead and explain a parlay?
So, basically, a parlay is you're betting on 3 different outcomes all to hit at the same time. So, you're taking... Let's say we're watching the Braves and Phillies right now. You're taking the Phillies, minus 120. You're taking the over of... I mean, you kill it on this game. It's 10-7. Say the over was, 7.
Sure.
You take the over, and then you also bet the Cubs will beat the Reds. And you need all 3 of those things to happen in order for you to win.
So all 3 you hit. If one doesn't happen, then
you lose everything.
You're done.
You lose everything. And that happens so many times. Man.
Oh, my gosh.
I've placed a bet, like a 17 parlay. Hit all 6 throughout the day. Like, started my morning on. That final game, I'm like, hey, this is my shoe-in. This was my lock. Let's go.
So it's like call options. High risk, high reward.
High risk, high reward.
Not
and it's very gut-punching whenever you lose that one. But, yeah, that's basically what it is. You're adding bets together.
Okay.
Essentially, you do that so, like, the odds are less. So, like, say if you put a 3-team parlay, the odds are probably going to be somewhere. It depends on what you take. But you could put $10 down to win like 70-something, as opposed to just taking a team that was plus 120 and winning $12.
Sure.
Which is kind of sounds complicated, but the best way to learn how to sports bet is to just do it.
Do it.
I've done a little. I feel like I've bet on golf 3 or 4 times just because like I know the sport obviously, and I know like different courses, different odds, things like that. Who has a better advantage of this week versus next week, things like that. I've done sports, and I think I've done like UFC.
Yeah, UFC's fun.
Yeah, and then I'll do like the free one where you like do the massive thing on DraftKings to win like $2 million or something.
Oh,
like that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Always do those, but other than that, I really haven't dove in.
Yeah, see, like the one thing that I want to happen though is, Luke, you can probably appreciate this more than I can. I don't know what you bet through right now, but I want FanDuel to. Well, it will be like legal in Tennessee because it's legal now, but they're just still working out the kinks.
Isn't it just New Jersey right now? It's like we're only like everybody supposedly. I know DraftKings is New Jersey, and it's like
I know FanDuel is a couple other places, I think, but they're working on it in Tennessee. But the reason is, so say you take a 10-team parlay, and you're 8 teams in, and you're still on the winning side, right? You can go ahead and cash out that parlay.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, which is huge.
I would never do it.
I would probably not do it. I'm on a heater, and then it would get to 10 and
never do it.
Donezo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really want to do that for sure because I mean, it's just like more professionally done, than probably. I don't know what your situation is, but
Yeah, no, definitely, definitely. No, I bet online through an online bookie, but it definitely makes you appreciate sports because you realize you really never know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
ever.
And I feel like you watch games that you wouldn't normally watch because of it, too.
I will watch North Texas and Wyoming play, and it will be like my national championship.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm not a huge sports bettor, but the tweet that came out a couple weeks ago when the Pac-12 canceled, and they were like, I can't make all my money back at the 11 o'clock game anymore and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know that hit home for you.
No, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
That's the thing, too. Like, you think you know sports until you start betting, and then you question everything.
You just realize anything can happen.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
I'm telling you.
Like this.
This.
Braves were up 10-0, and now it's 10-7. And
like basically since we started this podcast.
That's insane. But like the thing about it is I've had just as much success blind betting things I don't know about as to like actually researching things.
Sure.
Yep.
So like I took Stipe Miocic the other night at plus 120 because he went to Trevecca for UFC. Don't even know who he was fighting, just took him and it hit for no reason.
Yep.
It's just stuff like that, man.
Yep.
But
that's how it be.
Yeah, but anyway, I think we're pretty much out of time on this segment. We've been going for about 15 minutes.
That rolled like completely in a different direction than what we planned.
Different.
So who do y'all got for the national championship real quick?
No, we actually are not on time limit because we only have one camera. If you notice there's no cuts, it's because we only have one camera this week, but we can keep going. What were you going to say?
I just want to know who y'all would like to see win the national championship, who can realistically do it.
Man, it's just going to be such a different season. Because, you want to say an SEC team, but they're playing 10 SEC games.
Yep.
So like they're liable to lose.
And even is there a national championship?
There's supposed to be a college football playoff.
Okay.
But I don't know if bowls are supposed to happen.
Who comes out of the SEC on top then? I guess. Is that an easier way to phrase it for you guys? Like who wins out the SEC?
Man.
The easy answer for me is probably.
Don't give me the easy answer.
Okay. So my easy answer would be Tennessee because I would love to see it happen.
Okay. Wow.
But it's not going to happen, so I have a second answer.
Super hot take.
I'm gonna say I would like to see like a Georgia maybe come out of the East just because I would love to see somebody other than a West team take it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, with my third strike last time I was on here, I picked Tennessee to take the East.
You damn right he did.
I did. But
Stupid. Wow.
Sorry, go ahead.
Anyways,
My bad.
I think that
You want to put this hat on here?
no, I ain't gonna put that on. But I guess I got to stick with the Tennessee taking the East. I don't know how that's gonna still, but
Spicy.
yeah, no, I do got Auburn taking that Iron Bowl.
Okay.
From
I like
Bama.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I say that
think it's
every
a good
year.
year for
So Auburn's gonna win the SEC.
Really?
That's what I got.
Dude, okay. So I would say Bama, but once again, Mac Jones is, that's a safe play.
Sure.
LSU, I saw where Jamar Chase is not
That's
playing.
that's
Opted
why I
out.
didn't pick LSU.
Exactly, which I don't even know who their quarterback's going to be this year.
But they're so deep in receivers, though. They're
Yeah,
they're kind of like how
studs.
Bama is with running backs.
Yeah,
They're
absolutely.
next man up.
I don't know. I mean, it's especially losing Joe Burrow. Like, I don't know how good they're going to
Exactly.
Yeah.
be. And just speaking of which, Georgia is they lost Jake Fromm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is as wide open as the SEC has been.
I agree with that.
That's why Auburn's Bo Nix. I mean,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
like one of the more veteran quarterbacks in the SEC. If I am not mistaken, I'm probably forgetting about some people.
Yeah, I mean, I think A&M has Kellen Mond,
But, yep.
who I
Yeah.
think is the most.
He's pretty good.
Which, if I was going off that, I would say A&M, but they always suck.
They
Yeah.
blow
Like
it.
they're always like number 8 in the nation. We won 6 games.
Yeah.
Like
I
how?
hate going back to the Vols, but they have Garantano way up there just because
Yeah.
he's like a fifth-year senior at this
I'm
point.
telling you, and like the Hogs have Felipe Franks this year, who
Yeah.
he's
Oh,
has
yeah.
a lot of experience, but like that doesn't really mean much for the Hogs. But
I
dude,
mean, it could.
But dude, it's 2020.
He's
You never
good,
know
yeah.
what's gonna happen.
very
exactly.
true.
You
don't
never
know.
imagine that would be insane if Arkansas won the SEC just because it was 2020.
Okay. Nah, you said stupid about
It was
it.
really hot.
No,
no,
that's-
that's really cold.
No, yeah, but I'll probably just stick with Bama just because it's the safe bet, and I honestly don't know.
Yeah,
I really don't know.
it's
That's
wide open,
respect.
Which is
awesome.
exciting. It's super
Yeah.
exciting because they're going to be playing each other. They're going to be going at it every week, and I'm looking forward
When's
to
opening
it. man.
day? When are we?
September 24th, September 20 something.
It's like 3 weeks.
Because it was
4
supposed to be
weeks.
September 5th. I know that, and
Cool.
then they moved it back to the 20th ish.
Cool.
But anyway, okay. With that, we're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be right back after this with No Common Fan.
Welcome back, boys and girls. Welcome back into the Common Fan. And this week we're going to talk a little fantasy football.
Let's go, baby.
So
I'm usually pretty terrible at fantasy football. By the
I
way.
feel like every year I get so hyped up. I pick my team. I'm like, there's no shot I'm losing. And then I lose like the first 4 weeks.
I'll tell you who's always a sleeper and who always beats me when at least we play
Yeah.
in the same fantasy league is your mom.
Dude,
I'm telling you.
I feel like Kim be about it.
yeah.
Kim Teal, man.
She does, man. We started this like family fantasy football league that we've kind of had for probably like 6 years now, something
man.
like
It's
that.
been a long time.
And she makes more transactions than anybody hands down.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome.
She's dropping,
That is so
trading, picking
cool.
up people left and right.
She takes it super serious.
super
Did she
serious.
win?
Yes.
Like
her teams
wins
are-
the league?
I don't think she's ever won the league.
God.
I don't know,
She's
but
super
You got
salty.
it, Kim. Kim, you got it.
Dude,
This
she
is
loves to
your year.
beat me up, man.
This is your year, Kim.
But anyway, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
She takes it so seriously, though.
She really does. She
Because
really does.
We'll ride together to the Titans games, and she's like, "You're going down this week. You're losing."
That's so funny, man.
I'm like, "I forgot we were playing," and she's like, "Yeah, right. No, you didn't."
Is your lineup set? Okay, sorry.
All right, so we're going to talk fantasy football. So what we're going to do over the next however long this takes us, we're basically going to do like a mock draft, okay? So I wouldn't take our advice if you're picking your own team, but it at least helps to hear someone do it. So what we're going to do, we're probably going to play like rock, paper, scissors, and it's going to be a straight up.
So how
little Rochambeau.
Rochambeau. Should we do snake or just like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3? I think that would probably be
let's
better.
go 1, 2, 3. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and let's just do it like by each position. So I'll pick a quarterback, or like I don't want to start actually. You pick a quarterback, you pick a quarterback, I'll pick a quarterback, and then like that.
All right, so we're gonna do quarterback. We're gonna do a 1 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 running back, a defense, and a head coach.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We all good with that?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
I'll do it.
Everybody ready for rock, paper, scissors?
Oh yeah.
So is this the odd man out is first or is he third?
Third, I guess, because that's the worst pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Is it 1, 2, 3 shoot?
Yep.
Yeah.
Straight boulders.
1, 2, 3 shoot.
So he's
how
got
does it
first
work?
pick, and then me and you have to go.
All right, here we go. 1.
Okay,
Ready?
1,
1, 2, 3 shoot.
Let's go. You're garbage. All right. So Brax,
He's got the 3rd overall pick. Like it's that.
like
hard.
it's that big of a deal. Like we're all gonna have elite team. Essentially, we're just picking like if we were in this position in the draft and these people were gone, this is who we would pick.
Get
right?
out, ball.
Somebody hit a home run.
No. Bryce Harper caught it on a winning track.
All right,
Anyway, let's go ahead,
So
let's go ahead.
I have the first overall pick in our building a dynasty draft right now.
Right.
Okay, and I feel like if I was the first overall pick 3 years ago, it's an easy choice that you're picking a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For me, this year, how the NFL has evolved, that is no longer the case.
I agree. Why don't you go ahead? Why don't you go ahead?
You know who I'm picking? I'm going Patty Mahomes, first overall pick.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I really didn't think that's where you were going.
No?
with that.
Really?
No.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, that's not who I
I
picked,
thought.
but
Are we just doing quarterbacks or are we just doing players?
No, straight up, whatever you want. I think.
Okay. Well, then it's my turn.
then it is your turn.
I'm 1,000,000,000% going with Christian McCaffrey.
Ooh, okay.
I like it.
I thought that's where you're
I
going.
like
but
it.
Well, I can see it.
I get what you're coming from too. though.
Obviously, the quarterback, Mahomes has a lot of touches.
Yeah.
You know, they run a complex system where he's running the ball. You've got a lot of read option. You've got a lot of complex passing schemes as well.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of opportunity for scoring there.
Yeah,
Same with
absolutely.
Christian McCaffrey. He gets a lot of touches.
Especially if you're in a PPR league.
Exactly.
So I'm doing it like we're in a PPR league.
I'm good with that.
And I would go with Christian McCaffrey. And I get where you're coming from. I didn't even think about.
I don't know, man. I feel like 3 years ago, everyone picks like a running back or wide receiver first pick, but I think it's going to
100%.
be completely different this year.
Yeah, I think
With Lamar Jackson and
think-
Mahomes is so dynamic.
Actually,
Yeah.
referring to what we said earlier, your mom picked Pat Mahomes first pick last year, I think.
Really?
If I remember correctly. I think she picked Pat Mahomes first pick.
Kim Till, you heard it here first.
What a stud. Anyway, but okay.
Luke, what do you got,
Yeah,
man?
what do you got?
Oh, man. For my first pick, I'm going to keep it in the hometown
Oh.
and bring in, if you want to win, you put Derrick Henry in.
Let's go. Crown the
so
king.
Crown
he'll
on
be
it, man.
my first pick,
Yeah.
holding it down.
I like that
Dude,
too.
I love it.
I really do.
How can you hate it? How can you hate it?
So we're all looking at it like a draft cheat sheet, just so we have players' names in front of us.
Yeah, this
And
is all
Derrick
off the
Henry
dome, though.
is number 3. You know, usually, like I feel like he's like the 4th or 5th running back, but he is the number 3 overall player in the NFL to pick in a fantasy football league.
And he is the number 1 player in my heart. So, shout out to you, Derek.
That's right.
That was good. I like that.
All right, so I
Go
picked
ahead.
my quarterback, so now I'm going to get my receiver. I'm going to go Michael Thomas from the Saints.
Ooh.
Don't hate it.
I don't hate that, man.
Who can guard him?
I mean,
Deion
he
Sanders.
gets so many targets though.
That's the point.
I mean, no, that's
Right.
great. It's great. But
Yeah.
I'm not convinced that he's the best receiver in the league.
I
For fantasy football, he's the best because he just gets targeted all the time.
Are you going
nonstop.
to pick the best receiver in the league?
What do you have a take on who the best receiver in the league is?
I don't. I was wondering yours.
Oh, okay. They have it here as Michael Thomas and then DeAndre Hopkins and then Tyreek Hill and then Julio,
Julio.
right? But I think, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably going with Tyreek here.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm going with Tyreek. Not that I don't love DeAndre Hopkins, but he's with the Cardinals now. Who knows how it's going to go? Kyler Murray back there, it's going to be a little different.
Right.
It's going to be a little different. So I'm going with Tyreek Hill, who has a stud quarterback, always has.
Stud quarterback, and there's big play potential there.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And he's just super fast. I think you can't go wrong right there with any of those guys. But I just think as far as safety and knowing that he's going to produce, I'd go with Tyreek.
I had Tyreek for about 2 years in my league, and there were games where he would have like half a point going into the fourth quarter, and he'd put up like 24.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he has those, 75-yard touchdowns.
It takes one. It takes one
for him,
and you have your points for a whole game. All right, what you got, Luke?
You said you were iffy on DeAndre Hopkins because he's going to the Cardinals.
A little bit, yeah.
I think play is play.
Oh, okay.
Play is play. So DeAndre Hopkins, Red Rover, come on over.
He's a stud, though.
He's a stud, dude.
He does not drop
that
passes.
video of him and who's that guy, Hall from Washington football team.
Are you talking
back
about
when they were the Skins?
Oh, are you talking about the practice?
Yes. Yeah. See that right there? I
man.
was like, you're my favorite.
Yeah, no, he is an
You're a
absolute stud. He
doesn't
start
it. I finish it. I finish it. So, come on down to the good guys.
What was that on? That was what's it
called?
It was
a Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks. Yes.
Yeah,
Do y'all watch Hard Knocks?
It is trash this year, guys.
I haven't watched it this year.
It's terrible.
I know my dad has.
I hated it. Don't tune in.
Really? Is it it's the Chargers and another team too, right?
The Rams, right?
Yeah, whoever's
the Rams.
facility.
The Rams. My bad.
Yep.
Right.
So DeAndre Hopkins, Derrick Henry,
That's smart.
looking like a winner.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right, so I've got to build a running back, and I hate to say it because I used to hate the guy because he opposed my college team, but I'm picking Nick Chubb.
Really?
I think the Browns have built their offensive line throughout the offseason just enough for him to have a huge spark this year.
Wow. Not Dalvin Cook?
No.
I don't know. I mean, Nick Chubb, don't get me wrong. Stud. Absolute stud.
I think he has just kind of like what we touched on Christian McCaffrey. He has that potential to get a lot more targets out of the backfield as well as, break off 40, 50, 60-yard runs. So
right.
I'm picking Nick Chubb this year.
I get that. So we've all got a QB, wide receiver, running back, right?
I do not have a QB.
You don't have a QB yet?
You've only picked twice.
Yeah, I've only picked twice, brother. I don't know who's.
Oh,
you don't have a QB yet.
Oh, yeah, no, I have a QB. Yeah, no, I don't have a QB.
This is exactly how it is in a real fantasy football draft. You're like 6 rounds down. You're like, oh my god, I don't have a QB.
You see a QB go, and you're like, wait, I thought I drafted him.
Wait, okay, so I'm going with the obvious pick here. Ooh.
Okay, go ahead. Spit out the obvious pick.
Obvious pick has got to be Lamar, right?
Yeah, because that's what I was going to pick. So
100%.
That's got to be the obvious pick. I'm going Lamar there.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
I think,
Ooh, am I? Yeah, no, I'm going Lamar.
100%.
Is your hand off the checkerboard?
Yeah, it's off the checkerboard.
Okay,
that's
then
final.
you got Lamar.
Final answer.
The NFL's just so different, man.
It really
God,
is.
I love Lamar, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I do
Love
too.
him.
I love to hate him.
Beast.
Love him.
But anyway,
Oh,
Luke,
man.
what you got?
Well,
what
since
you got?
both y'all got QBs, I ain't really worried about that. I'll take mine later
Smart.
on.
Ooh.
Take mine a little later.
This guy's got experience.
And I'm going to go with one named George Kittle.
Damn.
Dang, man. I was sitting here eyeing him, man.
That's where I was going, dude. Dang.
Yeah,
guy,
but
man.
I got him.
Uh,
We looking stout for the good guys.
yeah, well, I mean,
That's a very safe pick.
that's a
we
great
are
pick.
very,
looking
very safe pick.
stout.
Gets a lot of targets.
Great pick. Great pick.
Also a massive human being.
Massive. What a good guy.
For
He's
sure.
God. Anyways, don't get me started on him.
Dude, it's going to take me a minute now because,
That's who you were going with?
yeah, dude, I had him locked. Like, I haven't even looked for anything else.
I knew he was going George Kittle there. I felt it. I felt
Felt it in your bones.
Yeah, it's sad, man. Hate to see it.
Hey,
Okay.
so what are you looking for, Brax? What do you got? You got.
I'm needing a tight
who's-
end.
who's
So I
your
have
team?
a wide receiver, I have a running back, and I have a quarterback.
Let's go through the teams real quick because I forgot who y'all have.
Okay, so quarterback, I have Pat Mahomes.
Yep.
Running back, I've got Nick Chubb,
Nice.
and then my wide receiver is Michael Thomas.
All right.
Stout.
Austin.
I will not lose.
I don't know, dude. I've got QB Lamar. I've got running back Christian McCaffrey. I got wide receiver Tyreek.
Dude,
I wish I could have this team in real
Right?
life, but it's just 3 of us.
And I
we're actually going to
have-
start a real league and pick these players
Just play each other every other week. Somebody would
man.
have to have a bye too.
every week.
And I'm rounding it up with Derrick Henry, DeAndre Hopkins, Dirty, and George Kittle.
That's a good
Dude,
team too.
Such a good team.
solid.
Yeah, third pick. 'Cause I suck.
All right,
Yeah,
so
so-
I'm gonna come out of left field because this I feel like is we're building a dynasty here. This isn't an actual fantasy football team that we're playing with,
Yep.
Yeah.
and I'm gonna pick a coach.
All right. All right.
Ooh,
Let's
okay.
see it.
Okay, so I am going with Andy Reid.
Interesting. I like that pick. Honestly,
I don't know why, but I've
don't.
always
liked
been
him
a
too.
huge Andy Reid fan.
yeah.
My season tickets for the Titans are in the 3rd level, so you can actually your nose bleeds a little bit, but you can see the plays develop as they're being played. And watching an Andy Reid offense from up there is unreal.
Yeah.
And I think
agree.
I have a dynamic quarterback and a dynamic wide receiver and a dynamic running back that would absolutely flourish in one of his systems. Yeah. His plays are very complex. They've took the Wonderlic and they are up there. Mm-hmm. I'm picking Andy Reid.
Man,
don't hate it.
I don't hate that either. And so right here, that's tough for me because obviously I want to pick Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
But I already have Tyreek Hill. These are things that I go through in a real draft.
Yeah.
I don't like to have two players on the same team.
You don't?
No.
Dude, I like it.
Unless it's a quarterback wide receiver duo.
Okay, I do like that.
Because when they're both scoring, you're good.
That makes sense.
But, in my mind, and in my mind only, I think, well, if Tyreek's getting passes, that means Travis Kelce's not, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
Or Travis Kelce just open it up for down deep.
And you have more of a chance. You got Pat Mahomes throwing. Ooh.
God, man, rocking a hard place.
Oh, man. You know what? I'm going to say screw it. I'm going to go with Travis Kelce.
No, that's a good pick.
100%.
That's
going Travis Kelce.
I was actually surprised Braxton didn't take him.
I know.
Yeah, me too. He took a coach.
For sure. That's like
No
taking a punter
no
first round. I'm just kidding.
That's funny.
Classic Kim Till move.
Yeah. Anyway, okay.
Oh.
Luke, so we just have a defense and a coach left, I think.
No, I still got to pick a quarterback.
I'm still talking for myself.
And a coach.
I should have picked another quarterback just so you couldn't have one.
That would have been wild. Man, for a quarterback, we gonna take it to Seattle.
Okay. Respect.
I like
my
it.
boy Russell Wilson.
I like it.
Respect. Yeah, absolutely.
I like him. Like him a lot.
Yeah. I agree. 100%.
All around good guy.
For sure.
I say, man.
Seems like a good guy.
He's got Sierra. Great guy. Pass it to the right.
So I'm looking for a tight end here. And one thing that we're looking at is, the two obvious picks for this year were George Kittle and Travis Kelce.
Easy.
And you scroll down and scroll and scroll and scroll, and 30 players later is the next tight end. So Mark Andrews is ranked as the 48th best overall. Zach Ertz at 42nd. And that's tough.
Coin flip. What you got?
I'm going to go Zach Ertz. I think he's a good play. Plus, his wife plays soccer. So,
right. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, honestly, tight end's a tough position this year. I feel like. And it's crazy. Last year or even 2 years ago, Delaney Walker was in top 20, 30, and he was the second or third overall tight end, and now he's currently flipping burgers.
Yeah. I guess that is true.
Crazy.
All right, so what do you got left?
Okay, I got two left. I have a coach and a defense, and I'm going with a defense, and I think I'm going with the New England Patriots defense.
I like it. Really? Even this year without Hightower and all that.
Yeah, I think so. Just because
I like it.
Here's my reasoning too. Is because they don't have Tom Brady and everybody. I feel like they're still going to be good, so it's going to be on the defense to be good. So I think they're going to be stellar.
This is going to be such an interesting year.
Really, in both college and NFL.
Yeah.
I agree.
I like the pick, though. I think it's good.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Very nice of you. Okay. Luke, what you got?
I'm just going to take the best defense of 2020 and go and take them Niners.
Bro, I feel like you're reading my phone screen and you're like, yep, I'm getting that before he gets it.
Yeah, that's solid.
Yeah.
That's an easy pick.
Easy. So that's my defense.
All right, Brax, bring us home.
My guy, I was going with that, and now I can't.
Now you just can't. Who would have thunk it? I took him, now you can't.
Man, I didn't even think about the 49ers.
If you wish you didn't take a coach.
I stand by my pick.
I'm going to jump on a table and take the Buffalo Bills defense for this year.
Shit, I just pictured you just trying to go through that table. It's pretty thick.
The Titans Buffalo Bills pregame tailgate was the wildest atmosphere I've ever been.
I bet, dude. They always show out.
Went to a tailgate, watched a guy jump through a table. It was insane.
Yeah.
Actually, two guys at the same time went through the same table.
Of course.
That's sick.
All right. Okay. So
that's your team.
That's my team. I'm sticking with it.
Up.
With my pick, I'm going to go ahead.
You okay over there? You're sweating.
Yeah.
Who are you getting? A coach? That's all you have left, right?
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. I'm going with John Harbaugh.
Ooh.
because he knows how to. I mean, in theory, he knows how to coach with Lamar and with Tyreek at wideout. I mean, it could be stellar. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And that's what I'm going with, which is kind of crazy.
Kind of crazy.
But that's what I'm going with.
That's not a bad pick.
I was going to pick Belichick, but why not? That's a safe pick.
I feel you.
Belichick is a safe pick, but I'm really curious to see what this year looks like without Brady.
Yeah, me too.
Because he could just absolutely wash out, or he could be amazing.
He should have retired before this year. Yeah. But anyway, Luke, bring us home. What you got?
Ever since we started talking about this, I had one coach in mind.
Okay.
But I don't think I'm going to go with him.
Really? Who was it going to be?
Mike Tomlin.
Really?
Because I love Mike Tomlin.
I cannot stand Mike Tomlin.
I don't know why, man. I mean, I'm a Titans fan all day.
You just always liked him?
But, dude, I just like how he carries himself. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm not going with him. Instead, I am going with a man who will do anything for a championship. I am going with a man.
Oh, God.
Let's go.
Who will put it on the table.
No way.
Snip, snip.
And snippity snappity is gone.
Give it to me. What's his name?
Give me Mike Vrabel.
I like it.
Sheesh, bro. My team is stout. I am scared for the league. This is bad news for the NFL, baby.
Let's go.
Oh, my gosh. I respect it, man. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and kick it to a break. And we'll be back with one more segment right after this.
My team ain't losing.
Oh.
The Common Fan is brought to you by Waltz Free Hand Sanitizing Lotion. It protects you up to 4 times longer than gel and won't crack or dry your hands. Try it out at store.avcare.com. Welcome back into the Common Fan. If you haven't already, be sure to check out Waltz Free Hand Sanitizing Lotion at store.avcare.com. What it is, it's lotion for your hands. Share it with your friends. It doesn't dry or crack your hands, turn red. It's also a powerful hand sanitizer. So it doesn't have alcohol in it. It's safe. So you need to go ahead and pick some up at store.avcare.com. Use code TCF20 for 5% off your purchase. And that 5% goes to me and Braxton and maybe Luke, maybe
if they get the pen to paper.
that 5%, man, that's gonna bring some big stuff.
Yeah, maybe
it's coming.
Maybe toward a little merch action. Maybe I don't know. But anyway, use code TCF20 5% off. Support the brand. Support the boys. Waltz Free. Okay.
Let's go.
Now, we all heard Luke say he wants it pen to paper that he is on the Common Fan staff. So I'm going to go ahead and kick it to you. What are we doing now, Luke? Go ahead. This is your tryout. What are we doing right now?
Good evening, boys and girls.
Oh, my God.
That was good. Okay, so anyways, we're kicking it off, the last segment right here. We're going to talk about all of us up here are former athletes.
Washed up.
Former.
Washed
Keyword.
up. And we're going to talk about life after sports when you become washed up.
When you are a has-been officially.
I feel like
I
the
never
mood
was
just,
for some.
Never
sound
has
effect?
been, never was. Yeah.
The trombone was. Dun, dun, dun.
I would try to do. There's no telling what this is going to be. Let's see.
Let's go. Yeah, that's exactly how I felt when he said that.
Yeah, there's a very low percentage that I actually got that right there.
You nailed it. If you
Thank
had
you.
to put 10 on it, boy, the
Oh,
payout would have been big.
Humongous. But anyway, go ahead.
I mean, I'm just, so after the final out was made of your last game or whenever, even if it wasn't during a game, if it was whenever you had that realization, like the cleats are hung up, I'm done.
Yeah.
What is you all's, like, when was y'all's last and how did you feel and how have you processed since then?
Okay. Mine's probably a little different than y'all, so I'll let you guys go ahead.
I feel like it's not.
Really?
Yeah, go ahead. Tell your story, and I want to kind of bridge off of it.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys know. You definitely know. I had gone through a ton of injuries in sports. So it started with my labrum, then my other shoulder, then my ankle, then my wrist, and my hand.
Sheesh.
And then I broke my femur and tore my patellar tendon, right?
That's big time.
All within about 2 years of each other.
Wow.
So
it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, man, it was rough. But
honestly, he looks good. For all that, he looks good.
Heisman pose. But anyway, but the thing about it is like after you get injured that many times, I was kind of getting burnt out on the game.
Yeah.
Because it was not always just go out and play. It was always go out, make sure you don't get hurt. If you do get hurt, rehab, then go play.
Yeah.
And it just became more so like a job than it was for the love of the game. So whenever I found out that I had to have surgery on my knee at Trevecca my freshman year, I knew at that point I was done.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sad about it. I'm still not sad about it, actually. Sometimes I don't miss playing college baseball. I miss playing high school baseball, which is weird because I wasn't in college.
No, not really.
I wasn't in college long enough to make those bonds that you do, like, after playing with guys forever. Plus, there's always new guys coming in and transfers and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I miss playing high school baseball for Coach Lamb with, Massey and Colton and Matt and all them. And I miss competing. I miss winning because I love to win.
And I have that written down in my notes. I feel like there's two things that people always tell you, especially in college baseball. They say you're not going to miss playing. You're going to miss the camaraderie that you build with the players.
Yep.
But I also feel like once you're done playing, you have all these different things where you just try to get that little bit of an itch of that competitive spirit back.
Yeah.
So like sports betting, it gives you that anxiety. It gives you that feeling of like intensity within sports.
Yeah, for sure.
And I can talk to Luke. I mean, you kind of got into coaching right after, and it was honestly for me, I got into coaching right after I was done with college ball, honestly, to be my avenue of I want something that kind of feels like what I used to have.
Yeah.
Definitely fishing for it, man.
Yeah.
It was tough. Now was yours like you didn't get injured, right?
So
how did your career end?
Yes and no. So I played 4 years of college baseball. I was a pitcher. And then my senior year going into it, I basically in the fall, I can remember it vividly. I was pitching one game, threw a pitch, and it heard the classic pop. And I'd always kind of been scared of elbow issues because I think it was my sophomore year of high school, the doctor that I saw was basically like, look, if you go on to play college baseball, you more than likely are going to need elbow surgery.
Yeah.
And I played 3.5 years of it. Everything was great. I threw that pitch and I was like, oh, great. Here we are.
Yeah.
So very quickly I learned that something was wrong. But I also knew I wasn't going pro. I had no shot of going pro.
Yeah.
So I knew I either pitch through the pain or I call it quits.
Yeah.
Which I kind of go back on that decision. I'm like, maybe it would have been different if I would have just called it quits. But I can confidently say today, now that I've been out of ball for several years, that I'm very grateful that I chose to stick out.
That's good.
So I basically pitched the entire season, and it just you know what? We're going to say it. I put a needle in my butt twice a week, injected myself.
Yeah.
I was debating on saying it, but we're saying it. I put a needle in my butt twice a week.
Go.
Basically, it was pure testosterone. I didn't take actual roids, but
What? Pretty sure that's roids.
So I was like, I need something. And, dude, I'm telling you, I would do that, and I would go pitch 7 innings, go out the next day, and be like, all right, who's ready to long toss? I'm feeling great.
Yeah, but they're not real steroids. So.
Oh, no.
I didn't get huge off of it. I mean, I gained like 20 pounds, but it wasn't too bad.
20 pounds of pure muscle.
All right, bro. Didn't get huge, just gained 20 pounds.
Yeah, so.
Basically, when the season came around, though, I cycled off. So I was like, if I have a chance of getting drug tested, I need to cycle off. So me and my roommate, he was taking it too. We cycled off.
We stuck each other, actually.
We did.
I figured. I know.
We cycled off, and season, like the start of it, everything was great, but I could slowly feel it going downhill.
Yeah.
And by the time we got towards the end of the season, it was right before the conference tournament, and I went out. I was closing at the time. I went out for an outing, and it was just like I had no life. Like everything, even like I was a slider guy, like my spin profiles on my slider, it was just nothing. Nothing was working anymore. And it was all painful.
Yeah.
And I had kind of been constantly communicating with my head coach throughout all this.
Yeah.
And he knew something was up. And basically the week before, or like a couple days before the conference tournament, it just completely gave out. And me and him sat down in his office, and he was like, look, do you think you can give us something beneficial in this tournament? And if not, then we need to put somebody else in your spot.
Yeah.
And I mean, I sat in his office and bawled for like 30 minutes talking to this guy. And eventually we rested on the decision that we were going to put a freshman in my spot, and I was going to go as like a player coach to the tournament and try to help and lead as best I could.
Yeah.
Which I completely regret that. Like, I want to go back to that moment and stick it out, but I think it was the right decision at the time.
No, that takes I guess that's really big of you to like.
Oh, no doubt.
That takes a lot of guts, honestly.
The emotion in that office and the emotion in general, like even if it's your last Little League game, I think just the emotion of knowing it's over is one of the craziest feelings.
Like even now, I can tell that was hard for you.
Yeah,
like you speaking about it now, you can tell like that.
And
was
one thing before we get too far into this, I want to bring up Coach Lamb. He's been on the show. Where obviously we all played for him, respect him.
Absolutely.
At the end of a senior's last game, he does something that I've never seen another coach do, and I think it speaks volume for his character, but also a great thing that a program could do.
Yeah.
So basically, if you play your last game and you know your season's over, no matter where you're at, you go out with your other seniors and you throw together one last time.
Yeah, it's like they long toss in the outfield.
Yeah.
At home.
Yeah.
For like one last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I'll never forget mine.
No, me either.
He comes around, gives you a hug, tells you how proud he is.
Oh, God.
Because, I mean, if you make it through 4 years with Coach Lamb, like, you're a dog.
Oh, yeah.
You're
Absolutely.
a dang dog.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
And he lets you know, man, it's really, that is a cool thing he does.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's a really, character, but also the program, like I was saying. So what about you, Luke? You obviously played at some different places, so kind of go through some emotion of that.
So out of high school, I happened to sign with Dyersburg State JUCO in West Tennessee about a week before our season ended. So my last game of high school, man, it just, it hurt. We lost state championship games, so that hurt. But there was a different feeling knowing I was going on to play.
Yeah.
Like I kind of felt more because like I had some boys on the team that I was actually going to play with two guys that I graduated with.
Yeah.
So like I still was gonna have two of my boys with me, but like there was three dudes that graduated with us that I knew like that was it. And so that was what more tore at me then. Now, whenever after our last game at Dyersburg, man, I remember, in right field, I didn't want nobody to see me, but dude, I was bawling my eyes out after the game because I just remember thinking, like, dude, I hadn't even thought about what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to do now? This is all I've ever done. This is all I've ever wanted to do. But, so I kind of had to deal with that for about 2 weeks, thinking it was over. But then I, got blessed enough to get to play at another at Stillman College in Tuscaloosa and played with my two boys that went to Dyersburg too. We all three went there and we balled out there together. And but man, after that game, like we lost in a conference championship game. They had a walk-off hit.
Oh,
and man, it was that thing. So we actually had a kid get ejected from the game because he drew a line at the home plate to the umpire in that game, and he was our starting left fielder, power hitter, tossed him, and where he was sitting outside the stadium, he said all he could see was me at the field, like couldn't see anything else. All he was doing was watching me and seeing my reaction on what happened. And I kind of blacked out when the ball got hit, but he said he heard the ting, and then he saw me just drop to my knees, and he was like, I knew it was over.
Wow.
Dang.
Ooh, yeah.
It looked like it's over there.
Dude, this is
bringing the
emotion.
emotion.
The worst part, what was y'all's final, like, at-bat or pitching appearance? Like, because I, in great baseball fashion, rolled over to the third baseman my last at-bat. I was red hot in that tournament, and I rolled over to third baseman.
Mine was bad, dude. I was throwing an outing, and I remember it was the first time my what is now wife's parents came to watch me play. And it was the weekend series right before the conference tournament, and I was closing, and luckily we were up by like 3, but I gave up a home run. So I got like ground out. Everything was going great, and I gave up an absolute bomb.
Dang.
And I was like, wow, here we are. And honestly, like I had been struggling talking about, I know we've talked about it before, like being on an island as a pitcher. Like I was just kind of all over the place because I had no clue where things were going at that point. So gave up a bomb, and then luckily I struck the last guy out. So like I felt like that was now mentally looking back on it, that was a good way to like end it.
Yeah. Adversity.
Yeah.
Pushing through.
So mine in high school was I got cut off. No.
Well, you won state to end high school, right?
No, I was a junior when we won state.
Oh, okay.
So I wish I could have ended it there. But in high school, I freaking like rolled over one or something. And then in college, I didn't know it was my last. because it was an inter squad and because I was a freshman.
That's key. That's where if you're a kid listening, you never know when it's your last.
If I can tell you anything, you never know when
coaches
it's your
will
last.
tell you that so much, and you're gonna be like, oh yeah, you never know when it's your last. And
you
never know, bro. Freak stuff happens every day. You could get hurt. Anything can happen, man. So take advantage of every opportunity you have.
Absolutely.
Did you not know you were going to Stillman after Dyersburg?
No, dude. I was cutting grass. Like, what am I doing? Dog, I was in the middle of cutting a yard. In Riverside. I could take you to the house I was at right now. Inside this white picket fence. My buddy Taylor Ellis, shout out, bro, calls me up and was like, hey, man, we need an outfielder out here in Stillman. You still down to play? And I was like, sign me up, bro. I quit. I'm done cutting this grass.
Wow.
Let's go.
That's awesome, dude.
Dude, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
that was
cool.
I finished up that yard smiling, dude.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
Yeah, no, Taylor really hooked it up for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's sick. Yeah, but as far as college, it was an inter squad, and I just happened to remember it because it was a double in the right center gap.
Can't forget those. Nothing better.
A guy named Ryan Cottle. I don't like Ryan Cottle.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God.
Well, non-shout out to Cottle.
No, yeah, like he's not watching this, but if you do, I don't like you.
Oh.
But anyway, all right. So that's pretty much all the time we've got for this Common Fan episode. So I'm going to go ahead and kick it to you, Luke. Give us a third strike. What you got?
My third strike is today. What is today? August 30th. The Chicago Cubs did something never before done in 145 years of Major League Baseball. Each of their outfielders, Kyle Schwarber, Ian Happ, MVP, Jason Hayward, had multi-home run games to destroy the Cincinnati Reds. Yes, first time that's ever happened.
That's wild.
So, wow, that is.
I
saw your
cool.
tweet about that.
Like I said, baseball, you never know what's going to happen. See cool stuff every day.
All right, so I'm going to roll with baseball. This year is kind of be the year of hot mics and further proving how big of an idiot he is. I don't know if you saw it. Rob Manfred got caught on a hot mic talking about the racial issues, and even the Mets GM was like, this guy's clearly not cut out for the job. You're a clown. Fire Manfred.
Yes, nerd. But anyway, my third strike is I'm actually glad that I stopped playing baseball because if I didn't stop, we wouldn't have the Common Fan right now.
That's true.
We wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be in the bullpen. We wouldn't have you guys. So thank you all for joining us. We'll see you guys next time.